cryptocurrency.
Like a couple bitcoins. Pull up on my Nakamoto.
Hello. Welcome to the Blockchain Dynamics Show.
Good afternoon.
My name this week is Brandon Doge.
And as always, I'm Woody.
And we are very happy to have with us very special guest, Mr. Not So Fast Crypto.
Woo! Not so fast, you in the building?
I'm in the building,
cool.
Building bags and waving flags. Thank you. I'm welcome. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, very happy to have Not So Fast here. The man, the myth, the legend. Joins us usually every 10 weeks for these recap shows that we do.
Yeah, they're some of my favorites. We get to cover the last 10 weeks of altcoins, which is a pretty nice little chunk.
That's right. It is episode number 60 of the Blockchain Dynamics Show, and we are coming to you on Sunday, April 23rd, 2017.
That's correct. And as always, the show is brought to you by Cryptopia. That's cryptopia.co.nz.
Yeah, you're going to want to head on down to Cryptopia. They're a great exchange. They've been adding tons of really cool projects lately, really good volume lately. But in addition to the exchange, they got a ton of other futures. They got the Paytopia, where you can buy all these futures with dots. They're in unique native cryptocurrency. And some of the things you can do, they have mining pools, forums, really fully featured troll box.
Don't forget that clicker game.
They got a clicking game. I mean, they got anything a crypto trader could want in one spot. So definitely recommend heading on over to cryptopia.co.nz.
And we'll be giving away 20,000 DOT later in the show to somebody who can get a question correct.
Yeah, so be on the lookout for that. At some point in the middle of the show, we will be doing another 20,000 DOT giveaway.
Excellent.
All right, let's just jump right in, I suppose.
Yep, we're going to start it off with the 10-week recap. So show number 50.
The Wolong Awards.
The Wolong
Awards.
Yep. It seems like ages ago. That was February 19th that we did that. And it's almost like we're in a completely different world of crypto right now.
Yeah, it's right after that, pretty much everything started exploding.
Yeah, it really did.
Price, upwards in price.
Yeah, just insane volume on across all types of coins and of sizes. And as far as like announcements goes and new coins, there was 206 announcements in that 10-week period. That's up
Unreal.
68 from the previous 10-week period.
206 announcements in 70 days. So that's like 3 new coin announcements a day, in addition to 3 like random spam posts and whatever else you find on there.
That's incredible. Well, I wonder if a lot of that was, I guess, while everything was popping off, because I definitely in the past like 3 or 4 or 5 weeks noticed a whole bunch more than at the beginning of that 10-week period. So maybe in the next 10 weeks, if things continue to go the way they are, we'll get even more than 206 announcements.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. We have been kind of noticing when we like do the new coins every week. Well, usually it's like maybe one full page of Bitcoin talk posts that we'll have to go through. And for this last period, it's been like 2 and sometimes into 3 pages of Bitcoin talk. Just
oh wow,
random posts. Most of it, it's funny. Less and less of these posts are even really coins anymore. It's like harder to tell even how to categorize a lot of the new stuff that's coming out, because there's so much new stuff that's coming out as like Waves assets,
right?
Ethereum tokens,
yeah.
Really weirdly structured crowd funds. Like it's gotten a lot harder to even define like what is a coin or what to call a launch and stuff. It's been it's good stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. Of those 206 announcements, 20 of them are on coinmarketcap.com right now.
And so yeah, about 1 in 10 makes it to CoinMarketCap apparently. And that's actually an improvement from the last cycle where we only had 14 coins go to CoinMarketCap.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess more announcements, more coins getting onto CoinMarketCap is not a huge surprise there.
And there's actually a lot of coins being traded that aren't on CoinMarketCap these days too, but we're still using it as an indicator.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. I don't think CoinMarketCap does Nova Exchange yet, or if they do, it's not enough to just trigger
on there
a listing.
sometimes. Yeah. It's like, I don't know what the deal is exactly.
Yeah, I've wondered about that as well. In fact, everybody doing the sort of strategy where you plumb the depths of CoinMarketCap looking for undervalued stuff in like the 400 and 500 top market cap range. There's stuff on exchanges, even Cryptopia. There are coins that trade on Cryptopia that aren't on CoinMarketCap 2 or
Right.
3. So it's weird. I'm not sure what their deal is, or whether they just don't care to list everything, or they don't care to be completely completist. But
Right.
Yeah, and I know some of it has to do with like the availability of block explorers and stuff, which some of the exchanges don't have any standard for, and some are more strict. So a lot of those coins, like they'll show up. Even if they do show up, they'll have like the question mark market cap,
right.
which is one thing. Of those, when I say that only 20 made it to coin market cap, I'm actually saying that there's 20 that made it and have a market cap. There's probably another 20 or 30 of those that are indexed on the site, but they don't show a market cap because they can't calculate it for whatever reason.
Yeah, usually a block explorer was hosted for 3 days after the launch and then goes offline or something like that.
It's very common.
And so, as Brandon mentioned, those 20 had market caps. The average market cap of those 20 would be $499,000.
Almost $500,000. That's pretty unbelievable. That would have been like, what, a top 30 coin 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Those numbers are kind of funny. They really get drug up by like the big winners. It seems like there's always one big IPO or something that comes out, and then that really pulls the average up. This time it was Swarm City, that like arcade city token.
Yeah.
That came out with the 7.8 million market cap. And so when you only have 20 in the list, that brings up the average huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's good that you guys have included the median market cap stat from this too, so you can compare. If you compare the median against the mean, then
Yeah. Why don't you let everyone know what the median there? Not so fast.
Oh, why? Thank you. The median market cap is $32,000 of these new launches.
32,000. So that's actually a 15x increase from what we saw before. Even for the past like 2 or 3 of these recap shows that we've done, that median market cap is usually like $2,500 to $3,000, and it just kind of represents like the baseline of whatever gets on Yobit or Cryptopia and just chills there with a low market cap. And this time for it to be $32,000, that I guess just shows how bullish the markets are overall. And it, when these market caps go up overall, it seems like it's still good for these small caps in these new coins.
It's just money bleeding out of the bigger caps to the more speculative stuff. I wonder though if this 15x increase is like an outlier on the sort of long-term downtrend of new coins having smaller and smaller market caps, or whether it's going to be sort of a shift in direction as we go towards some kind of bigger critical mass.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really great question, and there's just no way to answer it. Like you said, that number has been trending down like over the last year or two. Just as the coins get more and more generic and more of them get listed. But this is a huge reversal this time. So, yeah, I'm curious to see if it forms a trend or if we'll see the same thing next time around.
Well, you guys are the ones getting the data, so you'll probably be the first to know and the first to share it with people.
Just collecting those sweet, sweet numbers.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so we're just going to kind of walk through, going back through the last 10 shows. We're going to look at the coins each week that did get listed.
Right.
So from show 51, that was February 19th.
Okay.
So a good couple months ago. We had Zero, Geert Coin, and Swarm City. Is when that coin was announced ages ago, but that's kind of when the token was released.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Did you pick up any of these not so fast?
I mined a bunch of Geert coin.
Nice.
And did not do well on it. I think I sold a bit trying to recoup the mining costs, but it didn't really go anywhere. Just I'm very, very unaware of the politics of whichever country Geert wielders or whatever.
The Netherlands, I believe.
Netherlands, okay,
Yeah.
Netherlands politics is not my my strong suit, so it was quite speculative, and I kind of deserve to not make anything on that.
You know how it is. Maybe it's the next Putin coin or whatever. These weird, these like politician and celebrity coins is one of the weirdest trends in crypto, and I have no idea how to predict it or take any action based on it, because they're all just like generic high pre-mine coins, but some of them get these huge pumps. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, well, the Trump coin one kind of convinced everybody that, oh, well, maybe there is enough mimetic value in this to sort of create a basis for a pump. So that's all you can do is like set high sells and forget maybe one day Geert will make me a bunch of money, but probably not.
Yeah, I've got plenty of those out there.
That's the Yobit way.
That is the
Yeah,
Yobit
that's
way.
the Yobit way.
Honestly, that's probably the best way to play Yobit. Like back in the day, I was trying to sell all my stuff instantly or as soon as I could just because I was worried about never getting anything out of it. And I basically found that over the past 3 years, everything that I left on Yobit, almost all of it eventually cleared at a decent price. You just have to wait it out.
You just let it sit there forever, and then one day you log in. Don't watch it, because that's not how it works. You can't watch it. You just have to log in one day and find a bunch of Bitcoin and be like, where did that come from?
It's like, oh, my Yobit balance went up. How the hell did that happen? Be like, oh, it's space cash. You just never know.
What a great example.
So, show 52 had several that got got to CoinMarketCap. There was Score, Argus, Rhinos, and PiCoin, and also Ethereum Movie Venture.
This is a pretty interesting list of coins, actually, for show 52. Argus, I have to laugh at. It's chilling at $1,100 market cap right now. If you remember this thing, when it first came out, they faked a bunch of volume at a really high price, and the CoinMarketCap showed it with a higher market cap than Bitcoin briefly.
Amazing.
They have descended from that, so they started at, 20 billion, and now they're chilling at 1,100. A good run for Argus. Scorecoin, I don't know anything about. I don't remember that one.
No, it's cool to see Rhinos with a 230,000 market cap, because that was a kind of a long shot airdrop from my perspective.
Yeah, same here. It's actually doing quite well. I just sent some of my Rhinos coins from, I guess it would be Coin Exchange to Cryptopia, because the volume spiked over 1,000 Satoshi there, and I thought, oh wow, that's a good little. Or no, not the volume, but the price spiked over 1,000, and I think it's second from the top in volume today. So it's a good little progress from an airdrop that I don't know. It was a little bit sketchy, but it just seemed like it got some legs and people got into it, and it's still going. I
didn't see the difference between it and any of the other airdrops that had kind of been going on at that time, which had not really gone anywhere. And I guess I overlooked it because of that.
My feeling on these airdrops has always been that they're just kind of tossing them into the market and waiting for the market to react in a way that they like, and then they're going to run with it. And I think that happened with Rhinos. Like, they've been firing, there've been a lot of airdrops like this recently. Yeah. But then, all of a sudden Rhinos gets the follow through, it gets the follow-up development, the community, all this activity around it. And I think it was just a timing thing, and they realized that they had a chance to run with something, and they are. But it's doing really well, chilling at 230,000 market cap, which is awesome. A really funny one from this list, this Ethereum movie venture. I
completely missed that. I'm looking it up now. It's very interesting.
I know nothing about this either.
I remember the post, and it's like they're going to do a movie funded by Ethereum. The movie's not related to Ethereum at all. It's just supposed to be like a normal movie, but
it's like a contract that can raise money to make a movie, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. Huh. And they're chilling with a $750,000 market cap, which is really surprising. I'm really curious to know what becomes of that, because it's one of those IPOs that's so easy to just dismiss offhand without a second thought.
I certainly did.
I certainly did not even notice it, but it will be cool if they can fund a movie with it.
That would be pretty next level, especially if it was a decent movie.
Yeah.
Alrighty, that was show 52.
Not so fast. Let them know 53.
All right, don't mind if I do. So on show 53, the two that made it to CoinMarketCap were Netco with $42.3 thousand market cap, which is surprisingly low to me, and then Vizio with $560,000.
Which is surprisingly high to me, but Vizio's another one of those IPOs that it's just out there, and I don't really know much about it or how it got funded, but they're all pulling really strong market caps.
Yeah.
And then that shows, it shows a couple things. It does show that there's a lot of legitimate interest in crypto, but it also shows how easy it is to get big numbers on ICOs just because of the way the economics are different.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
But even still, I
the
think
low barrier to investing is, I guess, people are going to cross over that barrier just speculatively, even if they don't know what they're doing or getting into or what.
Yeah, exactly. Netco, though, 42,000. I think that's pretty good, actually, for them, for just a straight up kind of no pre-mine regular coin.
It's a pretty good start.
Yeah.
Let's see. Episode 54 had BioBar making it to CoinMarketCap with 5.8 thousand. Impact 90.1. Honey with 60.5 thousand.
This is another list, man. I don't think I really ever gave a second thought to any of these coins that came out.
I've been spending a bunch of time on Coin Exchange just poking around, and Honey was consistently trading at, I thought, a really high coin price, so it must be a low supply type of coin.
Yeah, it looks like there's only 56,562 Honey currently.
Oh, yeah.
That's fun. I wish more coins would go that route these days. It seems like every coin now is like 10 to 100 million. They're all copying either the Bitcoin or the Ethereum rough supply amount.
Yeah, I like the low supply coins. They're just, it scares a lot of people away from trading, I think. But no, there's a few plays that I do where there's a fairly low supply, and I just kind of grab as much as I can over time and keep staking, and eventually, like, you can sell off for a trickle because other people want to sort of do the same thing. They see the buying happening, and I guess it's a little bit Ponzi-like over time. But if there's something going on with the coin, then it's not a bad way to get involved and sort of make a slightly trickling profitable play. So I don't know. I would keep watching Honey for that.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. I should try and keep an eye on this one. What else did we have here? Impact and BioBar, I don't know a thing about. But again, really strong market caps, 90,000 on Impact, 60,000 on Honey. Just pretty impressive.
Cool.
Yeah. We also had on show 55, so this would be about 5 weeks ago, we had NobleCoin and Solaris Coin come out.
They had a 61.6 thousand and 21.8 thousand market cap, respectively, when we looked it up today.
Just another couple of coins that there's so many coins coming out right now that it's hard to keep up with anything. Like, I remember NobleCoin because it's another controversial public figure based coin. Solaris, I don't remember it coming out at all, and it's kind of cool looking at it again. It's like a NIST 5, just like a straight proof of work coin. 100,000 pre-mine, so it's got a small pre-mine, but definitely noticeable.
Yeah, I jumped on that coin just because I liked their idea that they're actually going to contact him and give him like a big chunk of the pre-mine to promote, I don't know, whatever he does. I think his book or something.
Oh, NobleCoin.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So I thought, okay, well, that's, I think, the first time that they're actually trying to get the public figure involved with the coin that was created after him. And as far as I know, I mean, I don't really know the sort of U.S. political scene that much or where he is. I know he's equally loved and hated on the polar opposites, and he's got enough of an ego. He's a very interesting person, so he's got enough of an ego that he might say, oh, there's a currency named after me? Yeah, I think I will take some for free, thank you.
Yeah, that's a funny way to look at it, and you're kind of right. It is a cool angle to play for the controversial celebrity-themed coin, you know. I wish more of them would go for it. It would have been great if Trump ever acknowledged Trump coin, but I think that's a long shot now.
I think that was the first. Wasn't that number one on the roadmap? Get Trump to acknowledge Trump coin?
I think it was.
And then they realized that it may not be within his sphere of attention or competence or anything, but I don't want to get too far into that.
Alrighty, so that was show 55. Moving forward on show 56, we had 3 coins that made it. They were Mbit Books, Coin, and Coinonet.
Yeah.
And some low market caps this time. Mbit Books, only 600 market cap. Coin at 9.6 thousand, and Coinonet at 4,000.
I wouldn't have thought Coin was actually going to come out at all. So
yep, that's
the premise of that was very shaky to me, but I don't know, maybe.
And that Mbit Books actually looked really good. They had a really cool idea, which was going to be like kind of similar to what PureVids is doing, but for textbooks, like online textbooks and stuff.
Oh, interesting.
And so that was a really cool idea, but the actual coin itself was the same, probably the same outfit as Argus, where they come out with a big pre-mine and fake a bunch of volume at a really high price to try and, lure some people in. So Mbit Books did one of those things where it had like 1 million market cap off the bat, and now it's already dumped down to 600 or whatever, so it just shows that while they had a cool idea for the actual theme of the coin, they obviously had no intention of ever implementing it.
Yeah, $600. That's like 2 textbooks in some.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's less than a semester's worth of books for the whole
Yeah.
damn chain.
Yeah.
That's harsh.
Cool. Believe it or not, there wasn't a single coin from Show 57 that made it to CoinMarketCap.
Didn't make it. It might just be a matter of time for a couple of them, but as of now, at least nothing on our radar.
Yeah, it sometimes takes a little while, and so when we get closer to today, you know, kind of, you have to get listed a little quicker.
Yeah, exactly. The coins from 51 had a lot more time to get noticed.
Not so fast. Can you let them know the Show 58 coins?
Yeah, so for Show 58, there is Happy Coin listed on CoinMarketCap with $49,800 and Universe with $8,900. I don't know anything about either of those.
Yeah, honestly, going back through this list, it's almost making me want to start revisiting how I evaluate some of these new posts, because I do not remember a lot of these. And we burn through them every week, so it's kind of surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, I think a lot of people were managing profit taking from the bags they already had in this past little 10-week span, rather than look at new stuff as speculatively.
Yeah, that's a good point. I have been spending a lot more time just dealing with regular trading activities, I guess.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, to be honest.
You got to take it when it's there, you know?
That's right.
Alrighty, and so for Show 59, there was just one coin that made it, and that's Tor Coin, the Carson Clock shitcoin.
Yep.
So that's pretty funny. That's chilling at 150,000 market cap. That's damn good. I don't know if he ever got to 150 on any of his old coins.
Yeah, I wonder if he did, it would have been flash in the pan style. But I don't know. I like that he's back, even if I didn't touch Tor Coin at all, just because he does put work into something that he puts out until he stops. But at least
yeah, exactly. They're good coins until the pre-mine dump happens. Like that's not so bad. Yeah, I was thinking, like, if he actually this would be the perfect time for him to, like, kind of start a new approach or whatever and try and actually dev up a legitimate coin. But I don't know if he has the patience or the actual desire to do that. But if he did, it could probably hold a really strong market cap in this environment.
No, I'm sure it could. And if he were to link up with somebody who would want to take what he did and run with it, and keep him sort of around to manage and troubleshoot and everything, I think it could do not badly at all. I don't really know whether he has motivations other than the experiment. Say it's an experiment, or not really say it's an experiment, but create something and then dump it for some value and then experiment again later. I don't know if his interest actually goes beyond that.
Right. Yeah, I totally hear you there.
I think he's somebody who just loves the game for what it is. There's a lot of people who really hate some aspects of the game, especially how easy it is to do stuff like pre-mine dumps, or how easy it is to just make new shit coins. And I think he's just somebody that embraces that aspect of it, and some people really don't like that.
Yeah. I mean, you have to not have sort of that kind of moral code where money and value and people's investments are sacred and everything. And I see the value in both ways. I try to be an altruist in that kind of thing. But I think at this point, if you're getting involved with crypto, the risks, or somebody in it already who's going to tell you okay, there are major risks, and if you don't know what you're doing, you are going to lose whatever you put in. So at this point, sort of the risk environment is sort of self-reinforcing. You know that it's a frontier still, and there's a million ways to lose your money if you don't know what you're doing.
That is the truth. So kind of looking back through this list, honestly, there's probably something for everybody in this list of new coins this time. I'll say the only one that I'm bagging is Zero, but I've been really happy about that. It's kind of a fun coin that's right up my alley. But there's huge IPOs with Swarm City, pre-mine shit coins, celebrity coins, kind of a mix of just about anything you could want.
Yeah, totally. I'm not bagging any of these either at the moment, actually, but some of them look all right.
Yeah, no, I've got I've got Reno's coin. I guess Geert coin, but that's not really worth mentioning. Zero, just because I couldn't keep my head straight about all the Zcash and Zcoin clones. I don't have any of that, but I have Milo coin or Milo coin or whatever as well, and I didn't mind Netco because it was hard to, but I did buy a bag of it, and I have high hopes for that one actually.
Nice, that's funny. Yeah, with Zero, I feel like having Z Classic taking a new direction and swap into Zencash, I think that kind of opens the door for Zero, and so that's mainly why I've been interested in that one.
Oh yeah, that's the one that Zcash sort of betrayed its super honest fundamentals with that swap, and Zero's the one that was like, oh, you're gonna go against your fundamental principles. Okay, well, we'll continue them forward. So yeah, I agree. That's probably one that I should revisit.
Alrighty, so just another thing we wanted to check out was kind of what happened to the overall markets in the last 10 weeks, and these numbers are just ridiculous. It's like I don't know that we'll ever have another 10-week period quite like this.
Yeah, not so fast. Let them know a couple of these stats.
Yeah. Okay. So in the past 10-week period, the alt market caps went up 244.96% across the board, which is just
that's the most ridiculous number for sure.
Insane. And I guess commensurately, Bitcoin dominance dropped 18.6%.
Yeah,
huge.
And that's despite the Bitcoin price going up.
Yeah, Bitcoin price is up 19% over the last 10 weeks, but Bitcoin dominance is down about 19%, just showing that alts have gone crazy.
And we bash, well, at least I bash Bitcoin maximalism all the time, just because there's so much faster iteration and interesting things that can happen in the altcoin space that keeps cloning Bitcoin for whatever reason until interesting reasons are found. But I really think this week was sort of a nail in the coffin for the maximalist future, just because there's so much more value and interest, even if it's only speculative. Like, other things are born out of that, and the value speculation creates. So we could have another crunch where the maximalists all point fingers at me and say I told you so, but definitely it felt good this past 10-week period to see those numbers.
Yeah.
It's funny. When I first started trading, I wouldn't have called myself a maximalist because I always liked altcoins more than Bitcoin, but I never believed that they would ever be in like a position to potentially surpass Bitcoin, like realistically. I kind of operated under the assumption that, all these coins will probably go to zero eventually. And then, while most of them do, 2016 kind of really changed my outlook on that. It made me realize that just how much potential there is in the altcoin scene. And now it's like, these days, if you throw out, the idea that the combined altcoin caps might surpass Bitcoin, it's like, it's not even really that controversial. It's just like, yeah, that probably could happen.
Yeah. No, it's pretty amazing. And I think kind of not just traders, but people who are involved at the very beginning are looking at altcoins as hedges against Bitcoin in some ways, and they're no longer simple get more Bitcoin vehicles. I mean, some people still think like that and always will. And I think the people that are doing the best realize that there is that long-term viability that's suddenly getting built in. It's just it's partly a numbers game, and it's partly a fundamentals research game as well. But there's no denying that there's been a fundamental shift in how everything has been perceived as just kind of corollary to Bitcoin, versus now it's definitely like there's all this stuff, there's Bitcoin, there's Ethereum, and then there's all this other stuff, and there could be more at the level of Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. And speaking of Ethereum dominance was up 4.82% in that 10-week period as well.
Yeah, so Ethereum strengthened its hold over the alt market, probably because it went up about 282% in price. Not bad.
Yeah.
Nope.
But there were really too many pumps to keep track of. Some of the big obvious ones would be like Dash, Ripple, Litecoin. But the most interesting pumps were some of these smaller cap coins, which, because they have smaller caps, have a potential to do just some of these ridiculous rises. Got to call out Pivx. At the start of this period, on February 19th, it had a 1.2 million market cap, and right now it's chilling at 76 million for a casual 6,233% increase.
It did top over 100 million market cap as well, and was number 10 on the total market cap spots for cryptocurrencies.
Unreal. And the fact that it's still at 76 million, there was a time when a coin like that, it would pump like that, and you'd expect it to crash back down to 5% of its original value a week later. Here we are, months later, Pivot's still at 76 million, so that's hard to believe. Really cool for them.
Another one that went up amazingly was the monetary unit. That one grew from 373,000 market cap to 4.78 million. That's 1,181.5%.
They're one of my very favorite projects in crypto because they have a dev who's in it for the love of just experimenting with new ways to make cryptocurrency valid, and they don't really care about the price or anything. So I've actually gotten pretty closely involved with it, and I'm so excited about the kind of stuff that they're doing because they're exactly what I had always wanted from a cryptocurrency or altcoins in general. They're kind of like doing it all. Just like, oh, well, we should try this. We should try this. We should try this. And they've survived long enough to sort of have that ethos reflected in their market cap. So I'm really proud of the Mew boys on that.
It's really funny. I got to call myself out here when Not So Fast told us about Mew a few times, and we featured it on the show one week. It was really in when alts were really deep into the bear market, and Mew was chilling at like 50,000 market cap. And I looked at it and I was like, all right, here's a really great coin. They're doing as much as they can with kind of a regular Litecoin type base coin. They've got this MUEX and all these other futures that they're working on. It's got about 50,000 market cap. So the conclusion I drew from it was that a really good coin could get to maybe 50 to 100,000 market cap was kind of like what to expect for it. So I was like, all right, that's good for them. And then I kind of ignored it. And then to see them now go up to like 5 million, it's
awesome.
It's incredible. It shows, I've still got a lot to learn.
Yeah, well, it's not just that you had a lot to learn. Like the whole marketplace and the whole economy repriced itself.
Right.
And I think, new money must have come in, or new profits from the largest cap coins did get spread around because there was a very valid expectation that the same thing could happen with smaller caps. And, it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy at that point.
Another one that's been doing amazingly well recently is that POSWallt coin. That went from a 130,000 market cap to 8.46 million in that 10-week period.
Incredible. Wow. That's actually the biggest gainer of any of them. 6,400% gain for POSWallt.
Yeah.
And that's another one that I didn't pay much attention to at first, and I'm now wondering, I kind of want to look back at it now and be like, I wonder what I could have done differently to recognize the potential there because, there's no question that they're killing it now.
Well, and they actually got their exchange running, which is kind of interesting, I think. They're mostly just trading things against POSWallt.
Yeah, it's interesting.
That is really interesting. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you can stake any coin balances on that exchange, right? Like if you have a staking coin in your account balance at POSWallt.
I can't tell you 100%, but I feel like I heard that. I feel that rings a bell.
That's dope. I didn't know that. I need to reinvestigate that one.
Yeah, I've also heard that ability is a massive security hole, so take that into consideration too.
That's good.
Yeah, so I don't know, but that's definitely like you can't ignore that level of gain.
Right, it's crazy. And of course, I got to throw out the honorary greatest coin award to the funniest post of the last 10 weeks by far is Wireless Coin.
Yeah. Yep.
All you transpo timers out there, if you haven't checked out the Wireless Coin thread or any of their music videos, you got to do yourself a favor and go watch them because they're hilarious.
Kind of bringing some comedy to crypto in a good way.
And I wonder if it's even comedy. Like I've watched all of those more than once because they're so amazing.
Yeah.
I would never have thought I would have watched somebody karaoke a Killer's song with changed lyrics.
with shitcoin lyrics.
Oh, the lyrics are really my favorite part for sure. Yeah, they're so awesome. Funny.
And they're like doing it all with a straight face, like you said, so it's hard to even tell if it's a joke or if they're serious. Or obviously the time traveling part is real. We know that.
Yeah, we that's the serious part. It's just the rest of it that I'm sort of trying to suss out.
Exactly. Or they, I know that they have this time traveling school bus. I just don't believe that they're going to use Wireless Coin on it. And so that's, I guess, the part that'll they'll have to prove.
Right. Yeah. They really have to prove the use case of altcoins on this.
All right. So that kind of was the summary of the last 10 weeks there.
That's it. It's been a preposterous 10 weeks in altcoins. It was really fun going back through this list and seeing everything that has come out since then, and some of these other crazy changes that have happened.
Definitely. I super enjoyed looking back through all that.
And with that, we're going to get to a little bit of what happened this week in altcoins. And we always start that off with the news.
Got to have that news.
News.
At the top of the news list this week, we have the ARK flash crash.
This is pretty funny, something you don't see every day anymore. Somebody just decided to put a humongous amount of ARK for sale all at once at basically 1/3 of what the price had been moments before. And it was funny, you had about 5 minutes to try and snatch up this sell. ARK was like 24,000 before this happened. Somebody put in a humongous sell order at 10,000, just crashing the price. And it ended up being like 3.7 million coins traded in 1 hour off of this.
Jeez.
And those can be incredible opportunities for somebody that's keeping a close eye on the exchange because, you can expect when somebody does a huge sell wallet like that or something, by the time it gets broken down, there'll probably be a little spike, a flashback kind of the normal price. And that happened with ARK where it bounced back to like 20,000 again almost instantly and then has kind of been slowly declining ever since.
Yeah, just the kind of aftershock. So you guys had some ideas of what might have happened with that, didn't you?
We heard that one of these Twitter pumpers was just dumping all of his coins for fun, but I have a hard time. Why would you shoot yourself in the foot like that? Why not give yourself just sell them slowly over a week or something? Like I would never understand why somebody would do that deliberately, unless maybe it was like just a mistake, maybe a bot.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe over-invested in the ICO because I think at 10,000 Satoshi, that dumping it for above that is still profitable if you had bought all at ICO with ARK. And I know funds were tied up for a long time. So I could see someone over-investing their Bitcoin in ARK and then saying, well, I need to redistribute all this stuff. I'll get out. It'll be at a profit. I don't really care if I crash the market because there's either something I need to invest in or I'm done with this. So maybe that could have been the logic behind whoever dumped it, but we'll never know.
That's a good thought. I hadn't really considered it like that. I kind of overestimate my impact on the market, even though my bags are nowhere near the size of what this guy was dumping ARK with, and I'm always like kind of sheepish about slowly putting my sells out and stuff. So it's just funny for me to see somebody like, oh, I've got a huge portion of the ARK supply. Maybe I'll sell it all at once. But it happened. Something to watch for. That was on T-Rex this week.
All right. What's this next piece, Brando? I don't know anything about it.
You don't remember Ga miners?
I just remember the name.
This guy from
Paycoin?
Yeah, Paycoin, yep.
$20 floor?
Yeah, it was a $20 peg. It really worked out well for him. This guy who was behind Ga miners, which was a fraudulent cloud mining company and also released that scam cryptocurrency Paycoin, apparently pled guilty this week to whatever charges that they had lined up against him, made some kind of a plea deal. And apparently there's going to be some restitution and stuff. The actual details haven't been released, but if you're somebody who got screwed by the Ga miners, by their cloud mining operation, you might be able to get a payout for it, so that's cool.
That is cool. I just remember how absolutely obvious to me it was that it was a scam and just how voracious his zealot supporters were. Like, where did he find these people? Are they still around in crypto? Like, what? He
actually, the whole thing kind of started off as more legitimate. I remember back when they first were just selling like ASICs and stuff, and I know a lot of people who had bought ASICs. They were buying like grid seeds and stuff through Ga miners, and that was all legit, at least legit enough. And so they kind of built up a reputation through that. I think that by the time that Paycoin came out, they had enough people believing that they were a legitimate business that they probably actually thought that it could be real, And they ended up pulling a lot of people in. It was actually a huge opportunity for miners because the coin was so overvalued at first based on that expectation that a lot of people made a killing mining it. But
So did you mine some then? Because I know I didn't.
I never did. It was actually, I think Nvidia people got the best of that one. I never did mine it. I wasn't around when it got launched. Missed out. But that's just some good news out of wherever Ga miners was from.
Yep. And Polo decided to announce a bunch of delistings.
Man, Polo delistings just rocking the world this week.
Yeah.
The list is BoolBerry, Bits, C2, Cure, Horizon, IOC, Myriad, Noble.
New shares.
New shares. Qbuck, Quora, Quatlu, Ruby, Shadowcash, Unity, Vox, and Magi.
It is a harsh list, man. I really liked some of the coins on this list. Really sad to
me
see.
too. It really shows what they're doing. So they, with one fell swoop, they cleared all of their like really old school Polo, like QBK. That was just a troll box Polonius people coin that didn't really do anything. And some of them I'm surprised by, like IOC. That's a fairly legit project.
Right.
Vox, they everybody loves to hate on Vox because it's so heavily pre-mined and was so overvalued on launch, and the ICO buyers bled a ton. But like, I think they're still working on stuff. All of these, like, you know that Polo is taking things in a certain direction, and they're definitely planning to list more stuff in place of this because they kind of have a one out, one in policy, right?
Yep, and you know that it's not just about volume or active community or active development, because there are coins in this list that had big volume. There were coins on the list that had active developers, and there's coins on the list that had really active communities. And so it's like you said, they're just cleaning house, and I think it just like you mentioned, probably a lot of it is just getting rid of some of those old school coins that people really liked in 2014 and have been on the exchange ever since.
Yeah, one glaring thing that I noticed is getting rid of both Quatlu and RubyCoin. Like, RubyCoin's main function is Trader Daddy, which is like a bot that you use on Polo exclusively.
Yep.
So they're sending a pretty clear message to me with that, saying like, yeah, we don't want other people's bots running on our APIs and maybe messing with security or maybe messing with some kind of manipulation. Because remember, there was that one spike up in Ruby where somebody's account got compromised or something, and market bought a bunch of Ruby.
That was just last week. It was there was that altcoin bot that a ton of people had registered for. It sold the API keys got out, and whoever got them essentially sold all of the coins that everybody had and used them to spike the price of Ruby so that they could cash out that way.
So maybe they don't want people using or giving out their API keys to untested bot trading software, because that could happen again. It did happen, really.
And what's funny there, it wasn't the Ruby bot or the Quatlu bot that triggered that issue, so it's kind of sad to see them go. But it could be, that's an interesting angle. I hadn't thought about that, but it could just be that the bots for those coins are like really inefficient as far as API calls go. Maybe they're spamming the API or something.
Oh yeah, that's probably it. They're really creating server load and cost where Polo can just say, all right, get off my exchange. You don't have access to spam orders on us anymore.
Yeah, it's sad to see all these coins go for sure. Shadowcash is the only one that made sense to me since they are doing that swap. But
well, Polo has spoken, and I know I had to dump quite a few coins.
Yep.
We also had a T-Rex removal announcement this week. They're getting rid of Swing Coin.
Huh.
I was sad to see this one. Swing's kind of cool. It's got like experimental block rewards that are kind of designed to be gameable, and it's kind of an experiment to see how that works out. And it had a little cool pump. I've always liked Swing.
Yeah.
But they also will be getting delisted this week.
Shed a tear.
Poor Swing Coin.
And then Litecoin is signaling SegWit is going really well. I saw someone say they were like at 95% of the blocks are getting SegWit now, so that's might
so
actually
awesome.
happen.
It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Just a matter of time now.
It feels like there's a bit of a momentum shift finally happening in this whole block size thing, and LTC might be leading the charge, which is cool. I think we're all excited to see what happens there.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, because why does Bitcoin need to change then if all these altcoins can just do it for them?
Yeah, seriously.
You can just leave Bitcoin the way it is, basically.
Super happy to have Bitcoin as the settlement layer and base currency of everything. Super happy for it to be what it has become.
Yep.
Alrighty, that's going to do it for the news this week. Next, we are going to jump into the markets. Another ridiculous week in markets. We had Bitcoin. It's almost hard to even know if Bitcoin is up or down because the price difference on the exchanges is so extreme at this point. But Bitcoin is, according to CoinMarketCap, up about 3.2% this week. And the price is anywhere from $1,000 to $1,350, depending on what exchange you're looking at.
Right.
And the Finex being decoupled and higher than everything is because they have some kind of freeze on fiat-based transactions. Is that right?
Yeah, I guess there was a change to anti-money laundering laws in Taiwan, which is where the banks that were controlling their fiat transactions were channeling through, and that has caused them to have those transactions be frozen or suspended so they can't go through those banks anymore. And yeah, it's created a huge liquidity disaster.
Jeez, and that's why the price is up. And then I noticed that OK Coin is like way down too. Bitcoin's like $1,056 on there.
Yeah, and that's another side of the same coin. Nobody can get their deposits are frozen, so nobody could put Chinese yuan on there to take advantage of that arbitrage either.
Right.
And so yeah, we've kind of been used to all these exchanges being
functional.
Yeah, functional, close in price, and that's all falling apart right now. And it's not a good sign. I'm not, I don't want to be a Chicken Little here or worry about the worst case scenario, but the longer it goes on, obviously the worse it looks for everybody.
No, definitely. You can't have such a discrepancy in price that doesn't get arbitraged away. Like the whole system has to heal, and I guess laws have to be relatively compatible across the board. You get stuff happening like this.
And it's funny, another consequence is that USDT, the supposedly US dollar pegged crypto, is now it kind of is channeled through Bitfinex, so its price matches the Finex price, so it's way up, which is kind of counterintuitively. If you're holding USDT and the price relative to Bitcoin goes up, that's bad for you because it means that you're in a worse spot than you were before. This is something to watch out for. The peg might fail.
Yep. Yeah, I was trying to use it to gain more Bitcoin at certain points, and it looks now like it could just keep going up. That would suck.
Yeah,
we'll find out.
Your USDT could become worthless.
Yeah.
Yeah, who would have thought that its peg would have gotten destroyed by the lack of ability to peg?
Yeah,
accurately.
exactly. You can imagine. It just shows that it's still an altcoin as well as it's done in holding that USD peg for so long. It is still an altcoin, and its value is tied up to all of the crazy things that affect altcoins.
Yeah.
This week we also had Ethereum down 1% versus US dollar, down about 4% versus Bitcoin. So that's really pretty much flat for as far as ETH goes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Litecoin going up a whole 28% this week, though.
Yeah, they've been killing it on this with this SegWit news. And we also have Ethereum Classic up 30%. So those are kind of the big winners among the high caps this week. Just looking at the overall top 100, 57 of the coins were up versus US dollar, and 51 out of the top 100 are up versus Bitcoin. So still a good week just in general for altcoins. We had a median gain of about 1.8% against US dollar, and actually a small median loss of 1.3% against Bitcoin.
Huh.
Which is a little odd considering some of the other numbers, but
right.
And then the average gain was actually 12%. So some of the really high gaining coins pull that average up.
That seems to happen pretty often these days.
Yeah.
We also had a bit of a divergence this week from altcoins and Ethereum. We've been tracking how closely alt markets fare overall compared to how the Ethereum market does. This week, alts actually overperformed Ethereum by about 2.5%. So while Ethereum lost a tiny bit of ground, overall alts were really mostly flat this week.
Nice.
That's a really good metric that only you guys have really been paying attention to. So I'm really glad that you're looking at that and caught this change, because Ethereum, like you were saying, was the new substitute for like considering all altcoins together. And the minute it starts to decouple, we see some really interesting things happening. Like all the other alternative coins pumping to levels that we never would have seen. So I think maybe like you guys found a really cool fundamental market shift indicator in that.
Yeah, it's something that we've really enjoyed tracking too. Just watching the Ethereum dominance skyrocket up and down as this pump has happened. And also, like you said, watching how the other coins are doing compared to Ethereum. And yeah, just a 2.5% difference this week. So that's still a pretty tight track to Ethereum. And like you mentioned, when it does start to decouple, you'll see that it's usually associated with a huge pump on something like Dash or Ripple. But time and again, as those pumps have receded, we see the market returning back to Ethereum still, kind of as the standard bearer. And that's just something that we're going to have to keep an eye on because there's definitely no reason that it couldn't change in the future.
Right.
For altcoins overall, another new all-time high market cap for altcoins.
Right.
Getting to be old news. We're at 9.8 billion right now.
Yep. Just keep tacking blockchains on every week. Keep making it go up.
Yep.
Let's see. Bitcoin dominance is up just a tiny bit this week, up 0.1%. Not surprising with Bitcoin up. And Ethereum dominance down about 1.5%. So no big shifts there, as both Bitcoin and Ethereum have been relatively stable.
Yep.
Bitcoin's stable in its weird way, where it's also the liquidity is falling apart, but it's stable for the moment. I think everyone's just holding their breath at this point.
Yeah.
Cool. And just the weekly overall gainers, POSWallt up 362%, Swarm City up 139%, Crown up 129%, and that Lykke up 102%.
That's a cool one. Godson mentioned that coin to us like ages ago, and I never I never followed through on it, so I guess woe is me. He's had some good calls lately.
Yeah, man, he's a good little researcher, that guy.
As far as the losers go this week, we had Qora down 78.5%, NobleCoin down 74%, BoolBerry down 69%, and Magi down 59%.
Yeah, you might notice a pattern there.
Yeah, common thread on all those poor Polonius refugee coins.
Ouch.
Yeah. Some of them were in the middle of like kind of going up too. I know Magi was like on the rise.
God, Magi looks so
when that
good.
News came in, so
Yeah. NobleCoin was like I remember I had a bag of like just let's buy the tiny coins on Polo. I had a 7 Satoshi bag of NobleCoin. It hit like 73 sats or something, and then right down to 5 sats.
Oh my god, what a bloodbath!
Yeah.
That's the game, though.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Alrighty, so. Yeah, really interesting week for the markets. Really big winners and really big losers, kind of because of that Polo delisting thing.
right.
And actually, considering the amount of damage that was done by that Polo delisting, I'm surprised that alts did so well overall, kind of in spite of that.
Yeah, and it also can't forget that there's been some Polo delistings in the past that those coins have recovered really well.
Yeah, I think the obvious one there is Block. Got to call that out. Had a huge pump this week. Didn't quite make the biggest gainers, but it was up there.
Yep.
Yeah, I was quite pleased with that one because I've been a Block shill since the beginning of time. But I think it shows there's a Poloniex premium on all these coins, and I don't know how accurate it is. I think the Poloniex premium is overvalued, and we're going to start seeing that as more legitimate volume starts going to all these other exchanges. The revival of Bittrex is definitely something that's going to call that into question. But when you saw NobleCoin lose basically, it's steady at 74% of its value right now. But that for a time, NobleCoin was homeless. Like if it had nowhere to trade at Polo, it had nowhere to trade. So that kind of was the premium of that coin.
Yeah, that's really a good point, actually. One coin to watch in this list is IOC because it did have a pretty big drop. It was nothing compared to what we've seen in the past on Polo delistings.
Yeah.
And yeah, so hopefully maybe that Polo premium is eroding. And I think it's kind of become this like self-fulfilling prophecy too, where you see the delisting and you know that it's going to, at least if nothing else, have a flash crash. And so everybody like rushes into it. I think a lot of people are going to try and rebuy some of these coins.
Oh, for sure. Like IOC, there's so much going on with it. They just had an interview with Alex on Block Talk like last night or something, and they're always doing interesting work.
And they actually won the Project of the Year on the Wolongs, which is funny.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yep.
We joked the Project of the Year they won, IOC did, and Magi had won Community of the Year, and they both got on the chopping block this week, which is sad. But.
Yep. All right. Let's jump over to the dot giveaway.
It's time for that dot giveaway.
Ooh.
The way that this works is we ask a question, and the first person to tweet at Chain Dynamics with the answer will get 20,000 dot.
That's right. You can send us a DM of your answer at Chain Dynamics. The question this week: which altcoin exchange shut down in March of 2015 after losing over 40 bitcoins to a WordPress hacker?
That's right. Send your answer to at Chain Dynamics.
The way it works, you got to have your answer in by the end of the show, by the end of the live broadcast. The reward is 20,000 dots if somebody gets it, and if they don't, then we'll just roll the reward into next week. We'll have a new question and a bigger jackpot.
That's right.
once again, that
Somebody
question,
won really big last week, didn't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they won 60,000 DOT last week. It was pretty good.
Nice.
It's a nice haul, man. But yeah, that question is, which altcoin exchange shut down in March 2015 after losing over 40 bitcoins to a WordPress hacker?
Ha.
That's the giveaway. Next, as always, we like to run through the week's new coins.
Yeah,
They
we always like checking out those new coins.
As we mentioned earlier, there have been a lot of new coins lately. There was just a ton this week. We probably won't dwell on each of them for too long here, but we'll try and keep you plugged in here at least. First up in the regular proof of work, proof of stake category is a coin called Tropico Hedge. This is our Crypto Night coin of the week. There's one every week.
Yep.
This week it is Tropico Hedge.
Yep.
They're so hard to judge, these coins. They all look the same, and some of them do well, some of them don't. It's funny. This one does say they have no pre-mine. That's a good sign for a crypto node, at least. The next coin this week was something called Undev. And so the selling point on this is funny. The selling point of the coin is that he didn't bother to compile a wallet. And so he's saying only people who are good enough to compile the wallet will get any coins.
That's excellent distribution.
Yeah, exactly. Really good way to sell your crypto.
Yeah.
But apparently he made it because he was sick of a bunch of other clones, so he decided to make his own clone. I don't really know the logic there, but...
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny when people are so sick of clones, they go and make one, right?
Exactly, yep. I'll show them.
Up next was Artax.
Artax. This is the second coin from this account called Vitalik Kuliev. And I think the gimmick here is that he just made up a name with Vitalik in it, and he's trying to sell coins based on that. But he also did one called Vavalon that didn't go anywhere, so this probably won't either.
There was also Gufi Coin.
It's like Goofy Coin or Guffy Coin. Not sure how to pronounce it, but...
Yep. Let's see.
The Guffy Coin, they very generously pre-mined only 1 billion for themselves and have left 8 coins a block for the miners.
Okay.
Oh, jumping right on that. It gets pointed out every single time one of these coins announcements are made that it's so imbalanced. I love breaking it down into a number of years before all the other coins mined by miners will equal the pre-mine. And there have been cases where it's like hundreds or thousands of years.
That's incredible. That's actually one of the best metrics for judging pre-mines because, there's a lot of ways to try and hide the actual value of the pre-mine. And all the numbers are so abstract and weird that it's hard to gauge it. But looking at like what you said, look at how long it's going to take to either mine or stake the pre-mine. And then you kind of realize just how big some of these pre-mines are. We also had a coin this week called Quantum Vort. Got to give them points for the name, but just the usual pre-mine crap that we're used to.
It is looking... people are putting a little bit more effort into these posts, though.
This post looks okay as far as the post goes, actually. I like the formatting of the announcement.
Right.
Huh. Quality, innovation, and excellence, they say.
A lot of innovation.
The next one I can't say the same for is Doors Coin, and this guy just has a picture of a door, which I kind of like that door, but it's just
it's a cool door.
Yeah,
it's a cool door, but it's a bad coin. Really generic, low effort coin. Same goes for Putin Classic, another Putin themed coin, and this one's just as bad as the rest. We had a coin come out called Prizm. This is a pure proof-of-stake NXT clone. Kind of actually a little bit more interesting. It's pure proof-of-stake, so that means it's 100% pre-mine, which we don't usually like. But I don't see anything here about an ICO, so there could be like an airdrop or something that I'm not seeing.
I don't understand why it says hash algorithm SHA-256 if it's 100% pre-mined.
Because proof-of-stake does use a hash algorithm as well. It's just it doesn't really matter because it's going to... your speed and hashing doesn't affect your ability to get coins.
Right, and only your balance does.
Yep.
We have a winner of the.
Oh, nice, sweet.
It was actually kind of competition. 2 people got it right, so I'm going to give it to the person that got it first.
Oh, sweet. Congrats. The answer to the question, of course, was all crypt. A nice little exchange that unfortunately went down in March 2015.
Yep.
Had some good trades on all crypt, man. At one point, I got red red coin for 1 Satoshi there. Somebody had a huge sellout. I don't know if it was just a mistake or something, but
Oh, that's pretty good.
that was a good win for me back when I still had kind of a small balance overall.
Nice.
As far as the new coins go this week, next up on the list, Theresa May Coin, another politician coin with a high pre-mine.
Yep. So we'll see if that one sticks around. It's just nothing really special to look at, though.
Yep, a lot of these, it's just going to be the same story. XXX Coin is the next on the list, and it's the same story again, just another high pre-mine with nothing else going for it.
Not a lot going on. And then there's 421 Coin.
421 Coin. This is a funny theme for a 420 themed coin. Like, we're a little late. We were stoned. We were late. It's 421 Coin.
Yeah.
That's just like probably one of the weakest gimmicks that you can get out of an altcoin.
Yeah,
considering how many weed coins there are.
There's so many now.
Year 3 into the whole 420 themed coin thing, I think it's got to be running out of gas. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's funny that those coins just never pump on 420 too.
yeah, that's when they either are crashing before that or do crash on 420. It's funny.
Yeah.
What else we got this week? Ohm Coin. My note here, I had lost all focus at this point. I couldn't.
It's another bad one.
Yeah, exactly. I had a hard time even reading the posts or trying to pay attention to them. Maybe this is how I end up missing coins like POSWallt. My eyes have glazed over from seeing so much crap that I can't even notice the good stuff.
No, man, I think you were right on with this week's with that summary for this week. There was also a couple airdrops out there. Peso Digital was one of them. And, like we saw, there was one airdrop coin that did really well in the last 10 weeks.
Yeah, that Renos did really well. The Peso Digital post, the post looks good. I like that the coin supply is only 44,000. Airdrop's cool these days. Pre-mines and ICOs have kind of both gotten a little bit sketchy over the past little while, so I'm liking airdrops a lot lately.
Yeah, airdrops like this, where if you have a Waves wallet, I believe that's how it works, where just your supply of Peso Digital just automatically shows up in your balance. Like that's pretty cool. I like that. And NXT distributed a lot of stuff like that when it was around.
Yeah, and now we're seeing a ton of Waves assets that are using that method as well. And I think that actually bodes well for Waves. I was kind of cynical about Waves, but seeing all these new projects coming out on the platform I think is actually cool. And that's Peso Digital. There's also another airdrop this week called Your Chain, which is a weird spoof of our chain. Apparently this guy's really salty about our chain, and he's got all these angry Donald Trump memes about he's going to make his own coin called Your Chain. It's a weird post.
Yeah, this is a weird one.
But if you're pissed off about our chain, I guess you might want to check it out.
His Bitcoin Talk tagline says that he's a white male libertarian bro. So
Alrighty.
Firmly within that camp.
Yeah, it's about what you'd expect.
Cool. There were a few announcements that fell into our relaunch, re-announcement, pre-announcement, and other category as well.
That's right. And first up was another announcement of Cbit. Another takeover of Cbit.
All right.
Our favorite dilapidated Bitcoin clone Cbit. It did like a 50x this week or something. I love this coin. It crashes down to 1 Satoshi and then gets a takeover and does a flash pump. And
yeah, it's got an incredible sort of slightly almost not gameable but still gameable mining reward thing where there's some kind of crazy patience requiring play involved where there's a difficulty reset every very long period of time, and if you're mining at the time you can get a nice windfall of coins, but I don't know whether that's true for sure or whether it actually works or anything like that. I tried mining it a little bit and didn't really see that, but it's cool that it's taken over by another Deb and kind of going the distance.
They're still going for it over at Cbit. We had another announcement this week for something called BurstOcean. This is a Burst asset. I've never seen a Burst coin asset before.
Huh, yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know. I don't think I've seen one either. I've heard of them, but I can't think of one.
So Burst
I didn't realize there was an announcement for it. That's cool.
Yeah, Burst is an NXT clone, I guess. So I guess that means that anybody could issue assets on it just like people do with NXT. And this is the first one I've seen, though. It's honestly not a bad-looking post. It's probably worth checking out. I can't speak to whether it's legit. I haven't had much time to look at it, but The coin there is called BurstOcean.
And then there was Quasar.
Project Quasar. All right, what's the story here? Oh, you got a post on this thread, not so fast.
Yeah.
It's from Bruce Wayne. The coin's from Bruce Wayne.
Well, it was just a very short post saying, imagine all this amazing stuff. Imagine AI paying resources for servers for each other, the Uber of server resources. And then his second last line in the post is, but I promise nothing. And he just gave me shades of John Connor there, so I had to say something about deliver on the big talk, and this will be cool.
Yeah, that is a bit of a John Connor vibe. That's funny. And yeah, the post itself is just another post where it's like an idea, but there's nothing else but an idea. There's no link, no pictures, no roadmap, no plans. Just an idea.
Yeah.
The idea is called Project Quasar. But, this is the kind of coin, if it does launch, you should watch it because it's got like such a low-profile post, but actually has ideas. So if they do launch it, it's probably going to be badass.
Yeah, ideas and a bit of arrogance, which is never a bad thing if you're in crypto and you'll violently defend your idea and how it's going to be real and revolutionary.
And that is Project Quasar.
There was also a pre-announcement for Surety.
Surety.
Surety. Oh, that's an I, yeah.
The innovation on this coin is that they have the first one-page white paper. Distill it down, Gotta get it down to the good stuff. Who reads those anyway, right?
Right.
So yeah, kudos to them for inventing the one-page white paper. We also had a token this week, a counterparty asset called Encrypted Charms.
Sounds tasty.
Yeah.
They got some nice 16-bit graphics here. And I'm not really sure what else the point is, but the coin is called Encrypted Charms.
It's a counterparty asset.
We also had a few ICOs this week. We've kind of just been reading through them because we're thinking about bringing back ICO reviews, but for the time being, we're not quite there yet.
Yeah.
You can be selective about it, too, because some of them are just... I see your notes for some are just bad. One-word review.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're keeping it simple. Sometimes some of these ICO posts are literally just like a Bitcoin address and someone begging for money. There's nothing else besides it. And
it's the crypto equivalent of a GoFundMe page on Facebook, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And some are legit projects, and it's really hard to tell, but as far as that goes, lately we've just kind of been letting you know what has been announced.
This week, the list is JSCO, Hydra DC, DeliverWeb, Notary Token, Octanox, Sikoba, Prospectors, Enoch, Viva, Apex Ventures, Metallum, Indicium, and Make It Viral.
And those are the ICOs this week.
All right.
Taking a walk back through the new coins here. The proof of work coins are really weak. If you're going to look at anything, I would say maybe that Tropico Hedge, the new Kryptonite coin. Peso Digital is probably my choice, my select this week if I was going to get into anything.
Yeah.
That's that Waves token airdrop. Kind of makes me want to get a Waves wallet set up.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's kind of a good incentive almost to just get a Waves wallet set up just to get the airdrop, isn't it?
Yeah, just to start harvesting these airdrops, man. Because that Ripto bucks would have been worth a lot.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if you have to have a wave balance to get them, or you just get them.
It seems like it can be a mixture of both. Some of them are for just being in the chat rooms and stuff. I think I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I don't understand completely though.
Yeah. I think those are both interesting, and then it's funny to see Cbit repost too. I think I've had a sell at like really high on Cbit for like a year now.
Like 1,000 Satoshi, what it was originally.
Yeah,
worth.
exactly.
Oh wow!
Just left it sitting there
instead of the 1 Satoshi that it usually is worth.
Right.
Maybe one day.
Mm-hmm.
One fine day. Alrighty, I think that is going to wrap it up for our look at this week's new coins. Let's see what else we got going on here. Listings.
Yeah. Next, we're going to go through the coin listings, let you know how that went this week. Nothing new on Supernova from what I could tell.
I didn't see anything on there.
Yep.
Oh, nor did I.
And then Not So Fast is going to let you know what was listed on Cryptopia.
Okay, so Cryptopia listed our favorite themed coin ever, Wireless Coin, is available for trade. So you can
Awesome.
go purchase your eventual tickets to the time traveling bus. They also listed Atmos and they listed Noble. So after its Poloniex delisting, it will no longer be homeless. Its home will be Cryptopia.
Nice. That was a quick move for them.
I have a feeling
Yeah.
a lot of those formerly homeless coins will find their way to Cryptopia. It's a good place for Poloniex refugees, I think.
How about
Yeah,
over
well,
on
it's all-
Bittrex? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Not so
it's
fast.
got all it's just got all the Cryptsy refugees, right? So they have that template for saying, "Come over to our place. We got lots of coins."
It's true. That's a good point. And some of those coins are actually doing surprisingly well now, so anything
Yeah.
can happen. And of course, wireless coin. What could be better?
If you can, if time passes enough that like the Cryptsy coins are doing okay, that's a really good sign.
Yeah, that means that's how you know that all coins have made it.
Yeah.
If Leaf coin comes back.
Right.
Oh wow!
All right, so as far as Bittrex this week, they listed a ton of stuff. Golem Network Token, Nexium, Edgeless, Legends, and Trust Coin.
Cool. Nice to see them listing some stuff.
They're kind of filling out their Ethereum tokens collection, it looks like.
And the reason they're into doing that is because there's no additional support ticket load or server load to list those coins when you already have the underlying Ethereum asset on which it's based. So they are, I'm pretty sure they're very conducive to listing tokens on blockchains that they already host.
That's cool. I mean, that shows the strength of this idea of listing something as a token, right? Why have your own blockchain if Ethereum can secure your coin for you, you know?
Right.
Yeah, it's when you choose something for your project, assuming that it's a valid project, you can decide whether you need your own sovereign blockchain for certain parameters of like transactions or whatever, or if the Ethereum virtual machine is good enough to make some smart contracts to do what you want to do. Why not outsource the blockchain and all the work to those miners on that chain and kind of build a portfolio on that chain?
Yeah, it's a cool
Outsource
idea.
the blockchain work.
Yeah, and clearly we're seeing more and more of these tokens popping up and being tradable and occasionally having some success. Yobit was in a listing mood again, so they listed Tattoo Coin, eCoin, Universe, Kids Coin, First Coin, Centurion, Extra Bytes, Artificial, VSync, MVR Coin, C2, Chicks, Mental Health Coin, and Dash Script.
This is a nice little Yobit collection right there.
Yeah, I was really excited to see Dash Script, but then I realized that the coin that I had mined speculatively was Script Dash. So
Oh, really? That's too funny.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
yeah,
That's hilarious. Coin 2, another Poloniex refugee.
Yep.
Finding a new home, I guess. Let's see here. C-Cex, they added a coin called Bonanza and another coin called Altcoin.
Yeah.
that's so far off my radar. I never heard of either of those.
No, me either.
Yeah, Bonanza looks like it might be like a C-Cex ICO type thing because there's a huge sell wall there.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Altcoin, I saw that was trading on Cryptopia for a while, but I know nothing about it. Then Nova Exchange listed Universal Molecule, Honey, Yes Coin, and Grumfork.
All right, nice.
Cool.
Looks like that is it for the listings this week. Just looking back through them, I got to say Bittrex probably stole the show this week with all their big Ethereum listings, but Wireless Coin stole my heart. So that's the listing of the week for me.
Yeah, you got that
Wireless
right.
Coin stole my heart, past and future.
I'm super glad to see Noble getting onto Cryptopia at the right time there. So.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, next we're going to close it out with the coin birthdays.
Yeah, we like to pay respects to coins that make it to their birthdays.
Means a lot, man.
We always go off of the actual Block Explorer start date. So, like, coins that swap sometimes seem like they're in the wrong spot.
They lose their birthdays.
Like,
They
I think
get reset.
Espers actually started around now, but their chains started in September, according to our strategy.
You got to keep the chain alive, man.
That's right. It's got to be from Genesis to now, birthday.
So a year ago, Rise came out.
Sweet.
That was on 4/22/2016, and it now has a 591 Bitcoin market cap. And then Billary also came out and somehow is still around, and it has 112 Bitcoin market cap.
That's incredible. I find it hard to believe BoolBerry still has that big of a market cap, but I guess that's the world we live in.
Yep.
Poor Rise Coin. They kind of got a bad rap as far as the ICOs of 2016 went, but they're kind of, they're looking a little bit better these days. I'm curious to see what happens with that one.
As far as I could tell, they were only struggling price wise. They're still valid as a project.
Yep, and 1 year in, that's pretty good.
Yep. So big congratulations to Rise and BoolBerry for their 1 year birthdays.
And then no 2-year birthdays, but there is a couple 3-year birthdays. One of them is BitStar, which came out on 4/16/2014. And last year at this time, it had a 160 Bitcoin market cap. This year, it has an 88 Bitcoin market cap.
And unfortunately, their birthday present from Poloniex was a delisting notice, so that's not
Yep.
That's not a good birthday.
3 years is when you get kicked out of the Poloniex house to go make it on your own.
That's the limit.
Fly, little bird.
It's a grown-up altcoin. It's got to fly.
Monero came out on 4/18/2014. Last year at this time, it had a 27,898 Bitcoin market cap. This year, it has a 233,889 Bitcoin market cap.
Sweet Jesus.
Yep.
So happy 3-year there. And that one went well. Good year for them.
Yeah, really big congrats to Monero. And, I got to throw it up to the BitStar people too, man. You made it 3 years. I think that counts for something.
Sure does.
Yeah, still sticking around.
Alrighty, and I think that is going to do it here for Blockchain Dynamics show number 60. I got to say a huge thanks to our friend Not So Fast once again for stopping by.
Yeah.
Helping us.
It's a pleasure. I'm really glad that you guys invited me. I love doing this every 10 weeks. It's so great to be in on the recap and know what's going on. And you guys are definitely have your finger on the pulse, as I always say. So everybody out there should keep listening to Woody and Brando here.
Well, thanks, man.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. And, of course, like Brandon said, big thanks to you for coming on the show. As you may or may not know, we're brought to you by Cryptopia.co.nz.
If you're trading altcoins at this point and you don't have a Cryptopia account, I don't know what your strategy is, but you might want to consider some changes because there's a lot of cool shit going down at Cryptopia these days. I've really loved working with those guys.
Yep, it's blockchaindynamics.net. This is episode number 60. The theme is from Grammatic, Error by Trial Radio. We'll see you next week with heavier bags.
Peace.
See ya.
Currency. Like a couple Bitcoins. Money, 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 though. Pull up on my Nakamoto.